Fox 61, Connecticut's news station, starts with a weather impact alert.
The extreme heat is on here in Connecticut, and we are still feeling it tonight. We got another day of high temps and brutal humidity on the way, and that's not all.
Our team is tracking the potential for showers and storms over the next couple of days, and those storms could bring in some heavy rain, and that's why our team has issued a weather impact alert. Thanks for joining us here on the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Sarah Sanchez.
And I'm Brent Harden. We have a lot to get to in the weather department here at home, but first, Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank is here with a tsunami warning on the other side of the country after a massive earthquake. Rachel.
Yeah, this happened in Russia, and this may end up going down as one of the top 10 strongest earthquakes ever recorded, which goes to tell you just how powerful it is. It has already triggered a tsunami in the surrounding areas up to 10 to 13 feet. But now that water continues to travel out. That earthquake happened at around 7:30 our time at a depth of around 12 miles. Good news for Alaska. It looks like the alerts have just been dropped, so no significant tsunami waves expected there. But a tsunami warning is in effect for the Hawaiian Islands, and the waves can envelop the whole island. It doesn't matter which direction the tsunami is coming from. It can surround them. The first waves expected to hit Hawaii at about 1:17 a.m. Again, this is our time. And then after that, about an hour or two later, reaching the West Coast with a tsunami advisory in effect. The start time for the West Coast, now this is local time for them, 11:40 in Oregon, and for Los Angeles, 1:05 a.m. The waves would not be as powerful here as they would be for Hawaii or, of course, in Russia, where it ended up happening. But still, preparation should be made to move farther inland. And, of course, we're going to continue to follow this as we head throughout the next not only hours, but days ahead. Here locally, we are going to be feeling the heat for one more day, feeling like up around triple digits, but we do have the chance for some storms tomorrow afternoon. A heat advisory has been posted for the entire state, feeling like up to triple digits again tomorrow. Overnight lows will be right around 70 degrees. And tomorrow the heat is on. Highs will once again approach records, climbing into the low to mid 90s as we head through the afternoon. And there is a chance for a hit or miss shower or thunderstorm as we head through the afternoon and early evening. We're going to talk more about that, plus the threat for heavier rain later this week. Your full forecast is coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. And make sure you have the Fox 61 News app downloaded on your smartphone or mobile device. You can get weather alerts and breaking news updates right at your fingertips as they happen.
Rest in peace, brother. Your work here is done. Your legacy will live on, and you will never be forgotten.
An emotional night for the Plainville Fire Department and the entire Plainville community as we remember firefighter Ray Maro.
Tonight, a townwide memorial was held for the fallen firefighter. Fox 61's Kate Pattyfoot has more from those people who knew firefighter Maro the best.
Kind, giving, and selfless are just a few words people use to describe firefighter Ray Maro Tuesday night at the memorial service at Plainville High School. The service was full of people from Plainville and even firefighters around the state, all to honor this fallen firefighter. Amazing grace. A touching tribute to a man who gave his life serving on the front lines of his beloved town. Hundreds of people came out Tuesday to pay their respects to fallen firefighter Ray Maro.
We count on each other around here, so that's what's important to us. And he was a good example, and we're going to follow his lead.
Governor Ned Lamont and Lieutenant Governor Susan Bicewicz joined members of the Plainville community at Tinty Field at Plainville High School to honor this beloved hero.
Police officers and EMTs and all the first responders every day. When the emergency calls, they're there looking out for us and protecting us.
May the spirit of unity and selflessness we have shared here linger with us, strengthening the bonds that tie us together as neighbors, friends, and family.
Some of Maro's closest friends spoke fondly about him and what they'll miss the most.
I lost my best friend and little brother. Fire Ray Maro, you will be missed, but not forgotten. Rest in peace. My best friend, and little brother.
John Carlo has been the Maro's neighbors for the last 15 years. He says Ray and his wife Chris are like family to them.
It was the night before Easter, and we got a text from Chris and Ray saying, just a heads up, there's going to be some people in your backyard. And they went out there just for my daughter and put, I think it was over 100 plastic Easter eggs with candy, just for one kid. Those are the type of neighbors they were, and we were really lucky to have them, and I'm sorry, and know them. And it was an honor to be his friend and neighbor.
Those who spoke during the ceremony encouraged people to support organizations like St. Jude's Children's Hospital and the Plainville Memorial Scholarship Fund, just a few organizations that firefighter Ray Maro cared deeply about. In Plainville, Kay Patty Foote, Fox 61.
Kay, thank you. Calling hours for Ray Maro will be Friday from 3 to 7 p.m. at the Plainville Funeral Home. Funeral services will take place the following morning at Central Connecticut State University in New Britain at Welty Hall, beginning at 10 a.m. We're hearing more stories from his former colleagues about the kind of person and co-worker Ray Maro was.
Fox 61's Tim Latow spoke with a retired Connecticut firefighter who trained with Maro, and tonight he fondly remembers his brother in the fire service.
The memorial for fallen firefighter Raymond Maro is growing with each day here at the Plainville Fire Station. One of his colleagues tells me he'll always remember Maro's fierce dedication to the job he volunteered to do.
He was dedicated. He would, just like anybody that's in the job, focused, professional. He was a good guy.
Retired Hebron Fire Department firefighter and safety instructor Shane Dolan recalls those training sessions alongside Ray Maro. And even though it's been a few years, he'll never forget him.
I met him at a specialized training event. And when you first meet him, you don't know him, but you get to know him. And it's a brotherhood.
Dolan says the tears will keep flowing because he feels firefighter Maro's death shouldn't have happened.
I think what bothers me the most is it was probably preventable.
He says he's never mourned the loss of a fellow firefighter from an equipment malfunction until now.
When a firefighter, dies while in the process of saving somebody from a fire or something, you know what happened, In this case, you're kind of lost.
Dolan retired after years of tragedy that haunted him, especially after responding to the aftermath of the September 11th attacks.
I think when something like this happens, all of the past incidences of brothers that died, or like 9/11, Ground Zero I was at, it all comes back.
In the wake of firefighter Maro's death, Dolan asks the public to show their appreciation to all first responders, especially volunteers like Ray.
They truly sacrifice their time away from their families, money, it costs money, and ultimately their health, their lives, to save total strangers. Honor them.
As for the investigation into firefighter Maro's death, we still don't know what broke off the fire truck and hit him. Dolan says it's extremely rare for equipment on these fire trucks to fail, as they're routinely inspected after each call. In Plainville, Tim Latow, Fox 61.
And this week, we're covering the important stories in Plainville as the town remembers firefighter Maro. You can stay with Fox 61 on air online and the Fox 61 News app, streaming anytime as well on Fox 61 Plus.
Well, new tonight in New Haven, hundreds of community members joined local organizations on the streets to call for affordable housing, union jobs, and youth opportunities.
Fox 61's Valerie Moravi spoke to community leaders who were asking city officials for some things to change.
When nearly 1,000 people from different communities came out to Scanterbury Park in New Haven Tuesday, many with different messages and goals for joining the rally, but they all have one common goal: to join the fight for change.
More union jobs, more funding for schools, more control over the cost of housing. The calls for change were loud and clear in New Haven Tuesday.
Fully funded city! Fully funded city!
Reverend Scott Marks is the director of New Haven Rising. He says the community is asking local and state officials to step in to address what they're calling the greatest crisis of their lifetime.
So the thing that we want from state officials, from elected officials, is to support working people in this struggle. Actually, if workers are going to stand up, there ought to be ways that they do it with dignity.
Bernadette Alicia says she's struggling to find affordable housing. She just moved in with her mother and 2 grandchildren to take care of them. But she says she's facing a higher rent than she can afford.
I just recently found out that my rent is going to go up $100. Everybody's struggling in this economy right now. Prices of groceries are going up. We're looking for fair wages and to keep our current health care that we have right now. Also our pensions.
Community leaders say they're fighting for dignity and respect for the working people. And that fight, they say, will help create more opportunities for the younger generation. Leslie Blato, president of the New Haven Federal Teachers, says the lack of funding for the New Haven schools has forced the district to make some serious adjustments, ones that could hurt students and their ability to grow.
We want fully funded, fully staffed schools, and we can do it because Connecticut has billions in surplus. Yale has a $45 billion endowment. This is possible. We need to Trump-proof our budget so that we can make sure working people and students have what they need to thrive.
We need working people to get that raise. We need working people to be able, we don't want to be millionaires, but we want to be able to have dignity for the work that we do.
Now, community leaders say they will continue fighting for these changes and others in the upcoming months until they see change in their cities and towns. In New Haven, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.
Well, new at 10, check out these pictures from Rocky Hill. Firefighters responded to a dumpster fire at a commercial building on Brook Street. It took firefighters about 45 minutes to put out the fire after the flames spread to the outside of the building. There was no damage inside the building, however, and the Rocky Hill Fire Chief tells us there were no reports of any injuries.